Hey guys, I'm Skwrrl, and this is General Chat, where I talk on a variety of topics related to the MMO genre and related genres. Today, we're talking about MMO development and player compromise. MMO development is hard. Like, really hard. On top of world design, character design, combat, story, and everything else you'll find in every kind of video game, you also have to worry about creating a persistent, perpetually live virtual world that works without too many lag or latency issues. In a way, MMOs have to be every game at the same time. MMO development is a nearly impossible task that I think a lot of us take for granted sometimes. So, say as a developer, you figured all that stuff out, and you actually have a game that works. Congratulations, now you get to make an announcement, put out a trailer, and feel the love. Well, some love. There's going to be some hate too, by the way. The thing is, you can't make everyone happy. Some people love action combat, some people love tab target combat. Some people love instancing, some people hate it. Some people are desperate for a new, full loot PvP game, and some people have zero interest in such a thing. Some people are obsessed with crafting, some people completely ignore it. Some people prefer vertical progression, some people prefer horizontal progression. It's impossible to cater to everyone. Internet communities can often form a sort of hive mind, where they decide if they love or hate something altogether, and that's how an echo chamber can form. However, online MMORPG communities are such an interesting anomaly, because this simply isn't the case with them. Over on the MMORPG subreddit, some days you'll see a highly upvoted post praising a certain game, and the next day you might see a highly upvoted post totally condemning that same exact game. There's no consistency, because MMOs have so many moving parts, and each of those moving parts are either loved or hated by different people, and no one's preferences completely match up with one another's. The algorithm for an online dating platform would see everyone's MMO survey answers and just give up. This wouldn't be as much of a problem if we got a new AAA MMO release every year, or every other year, to placate all of the different preferences, but we simply do not get that anymore. MMORPGs are unique in this way. People who play single-player games and focused multiplayer games don't have to make compromises nearly as much. Maybe I love third-person action-adventure games, but I know that The Last of Us Part 2 isn't going to be for me. That's fine. The next big third-person action-adventure game might only be a month away from release. Maybe I'm super into platformers, but the most recent release didn't do it for me. No worries, my backlog is already filled to the brim and the next big release is in 2 months. Love MOBAs and Battle Royales? Well, I've got some good news for you. But this plethora of options is simply not the case with MMOs, especially Western developed MMOs. The Elder Scrolls Online is our most recent major release of a Western MMO. It came out in April 2014. That's almost 7 years ago. If New World does end up coming out later this year, at the end of August, it'll have been almost 7.5 years between launch dates of a major Western developed MMO. When you have to wait almost a decade for a new release, it's reasonable that you might be upset if a game isn't exactly what you were hoping for. And speaking of New World on that same topic, this is a game that has completely evolved over the past couple of years. Initially a full loot PvP survival MMO, it's turned more into an action combat theme park MMO built around PvE with some PvP activities and light survival elements. No doubt, Amazon Game Studios has decided to take a more careful approach, attempting to cater to the majority and more casual gaming audiences. However, we have no idea if that's going to work yet. What we do know is that many people are understandably unhappy with the direction the game has gone, because they were so excited about it being something totally different. Amazon Game Studios and their development of New World is probably the biggest example of a major developer attempting to make compromises on the fly in plain view for everyone to see. On a smaller scale, Intrepid Studios is doing something similar with Ashes of Creation, though their design plan hasn't necessarily changed throughout development like New World's has. Ashes of Creation promises a hybrid combat system that will allow players to focus more on action or tab target without being able to go 100% into either system. They also have plans for instanced dungeons and non-instanced dungeons. They're calling their game PvX because they want to have the best balance of both PvE and PvP. Will this sort of thing work, trying to cater to everyone? Who knows? We'll find out somewhere down the line. The bottom line is that you'll never be able to make everyone happy, especially the MMORPG community. It's not that the community is some vicious beast ready to tear everything down. It's just that there's such a wide variety and combination of preferences among the players, and those players have been stuck in a game release drought for a while now. MMORPG development is hard. It's why MMO lights and survival games are trying to fill some of those holes. They're easier games to develop and slightly more focused in their approach. MMOs take time. Some people will love your game, some people won't. After years and years of development and millions of dollars spent, you just have to hope it works out. But at the end of the day, if you make an objectively good, working game and continue to support it, people will log in and come back every day. But the game also has to exist in the first place, and that's an entirely separate discussion. Thanks for watching, everyone, and let me know your thoughts on this stuff in the comments below. If you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe and like the video as it helps get the word out. I also stream regularly on Twitch. We play MMOs, MMO lights, survival games, GeoGuessr, 3D platformers, and some other variety mixed in there. There's a link in the description below. I'd love to see more of you over at the Nut House soon. Take care and have a great day.